Hey, welcome to During the Weekdays Updates, your go-to podcast for everything sports. I'm Godoshin San, and today we're diving into one of the most beautiful, most beloved sports in the world, soccer. Whether you're just lacing up your cleats for the first time or dreaming of going pro, this episode is all about the fundamentals you need to master to make it in the world of soccer. It is going to be very, very great. I'm going to share a lot of information that are going to help uh, amateurs in the industry to make it to the professional football, to make it to the professional soccer, to be the pros. Stay tuned. I know it is going to be a great time. I know there will be a lot of question on why I'm reading it on my phone. I'm still an amateur, so I'm going to read information that I got currently that is going to be so useful. Firstly, understanding the game before we can even touch the ball. It's very important to know the basics of how soccer works. It's a game played with 11 players on each side. And the main goal literally is to score by getting the ball into the opponent's net. That is the goal. The goal it is to score. But at the end of the day, you need to win. At the end of the day, you need to play to have a great results. That is the aim. The aim is to get the ball into opponent's net. Position matters. There are forwards, midfielders, defenders, and goalkeepers. As in life, you need to know your position. You need to know your role. You need to play your role beautifully. You need to know what role you're going to play. As a midfielder, you need to know that you are the heart of the team. Everyone knows it. If you are a midfielder, you are a heart of the team. You need to control the midfielder. You are the director. You make sure there is direction. You control everything. You are in the middle. You are in the heart of the team. If midfielder, in most cases, if midfielders fails, in many cases, teams may never reach a goal, and never make it to top, never reach their goal. I, as a defender, you need to defend. You need to have clean sheets. You need to make sure that your team is well defended. You are a soldier. You need to make sure that your last line is very in a comfort zone. You need to protect your goalkeeper. Even the goalkeeper need to know that without being defending so well, there is nothing defender can do if the goalkeeper is not playing in an appropriate way. As in striking, you need to strike. This is your role to score. Your role is to make sure that you deliver. You need to score so many goals. And most importantly, physical fitness. Fitness is the foundation of a soccer player's performance. Endurance. Soccer is a 90 minutes game that requires running up to 10 kilometers or more. Strength and agility. Body strength helps in tackles, jumping for headers, and maintaining balance. Lastly, it is speed. Quick balls can help beat defenders or recover on defense. I always tell a lot of players, I always tell a lot of amateurs, in most cases, when you lose a ball, especially for defenders, when you lose a ball, you need to counter defend. You need to counter press. If you don't know how to counter press in this new generation, it is going to be very tough for you because these new generational players, they counter press. I've realized that even the strikers, even the midfielders know how to counter press. For example, Shalilila can do that, Hoto can do that, Margo, Mogwen, a lot of players in the world can do that. Kevin De Bruyne, I can name few. There are so many that can do that. If you doesn't know how to counter press, it is going to be tough for you. It is going to be very tough for you. And if you are midfielder, you're not fast, you don't think fast, you don't analyze, you know, you don't read the game, it is going to be tough for you. That is why speed it is so important. As for strikers, you need a speed. Like you need to make sure that you run through all the defenders and make sure that you pass them very fast, you think fast, you dribble fast, you like you need to read the game and make sure to do it the perfect way, you know. Hey, now let's talk about technical skills. Let's talk about ball control. This one is very important for every players, whether you're goalkeeper, whether you're defender, whether you're midfielder, whether you're attacker. It is so important to have these basics, you know. Dribbling, being able to move the ball under control at different speeds. This one is very important and plays a huge role for attackers, mostly strikers, midfielders, long, left winger, right winger, 10. Those who play 10, they know what I'm talking about. You can't play a 10 and not having these basics. You need to dribble, you need to pass everyone, you know. I know there is a guy called Messi. He can do it more than twice. He can dribble more than five players, more than three players at once, you know. That is how you need to do, especially for midfielders. Pedri can do that. You need to make sure that when you read the game. In some cases, when you're under the pressure, you just need to dribble so that you can read the game and make sure to pass your players so that you cannot make a mistake and pass your opponents. You need to make sure that you're so in an appropriate way. But don't over dribble. I realize that this case a lot of players like to over dribble for the fame. Most of them do it for the fame. Most of them do it to gain audience attention, you know. And in most cases, I've realized that even midfielder dribbles these days, and they over dribble. Most of the times, they make mistakes by over dribbling and cause opponents to score a goal. You know, sometimes you just need to understand the situation. There is situation that you need to play uh 1-2, you trap and pass, or you pass same time, or you dribble. So you need to understand in which situation you need to dribble, in which situation you don't need to dribble, you know. A first touch, this one is very important. A great first touch can create a space or change the flow of the game. If you don't have a first touch, never, never. It is going to be tough for you to play a pro football, you know. You just need to have a first touch. The way you trap, it is the way you're going to play it so well. If you fail to trap so well, the next move it is going to be flop if the defender is a pro, you know. Sometimes first touch can play a huge role. You can fail to defend, I mean you can fail to dribble, you cannot be a dribble wizard, but with first touch, you can kill a lot of players. You can pass through a lot of players by having a good first touch and making sure that you know how to read the game. You know, I next thing I want to talk about technical awareness. This one is very important, you know. Even the best players need to understand the strategy, knowing when to pass, when to move, and how to read the game is crucial. You know, you need to know when to pass. That is one thing I was saying, that you don't have to over dribble sometimes. You need to know in which situation you need to dribble, in which situation you need to do this move, in which situation you need to do that move. You know, sometimes it's about technical awareness. You need to know when to pass, when to move, you know, how to read the game is very crucial. You know, watching professional matches can help you develop a sense of positioning and timing. You need to have a person that you rely on. For example, I rely on Thiago Silva. I watch his moves, how he defend, how he pass through middle fielders, how he open the spaces, how he create assist, how he creates the goals, I've always watched him all the time to make sure to master my game, to make sure I'm on an A game, to make sure that I'm doing it perfectly. Sometimes you need to have someone to rely on. Most players rely on Kevin De Bruyne, especially midfielders, Kevin De Bruyne, Pedri, like there is a lot of our midfielders that are so great outside the globe. I mean, outside of uh, overseas. You know, there are so many midfielders. For example, uh, Modric. There are so many. There are so many Kamavinga. There are so many that so perfectly. But you need to check how you play, how you move, so that you can choose someone who do the same moves that you do. Someone who's so relevant to what you do. Sometimes it is so important. And one of the important thing, it is mental strength and discipline. I've always tell a lot of players that in most cases, you need to be physically fit, mental fit, spiritually fit, and psychologically fit. You can't play football if you're not mentally fit, not physically fit, spiritually fit, psychologically fit. You need to be very very fit and be disciplined. Football is not just kicking the ball and score goals. You can score many goals, but if you're not disciplined, it is going to be tough for you. I've realized that there was a lot of players that fail to become pros, that fail to play in world stages, to play CAF championships, UEFA Champions League, a World Cup, national teams, because of discipline. You know, Soccer is not only about kicking football. I mean, kicking ball and score, dribbling. Defending. It's about Lord. It is a lot. It is a career. You need to know how to do it so perfectly. Consistency. Training regularly, even on days you don't feel like it. Sometimes you can feel a lot of pain and feel like, I just need to quit playing soccer. I just need to quit. And I don't know how I'm going to do it because it is really, really tough for me. You just need to keep going because they always say that no pain, no gain. If you don't feel pain, meaning you're not gaining anything. Sometimes it is going to be very, very tough. Sometimes you're going to face someone who is more than you. So that thing can discourage you. Sometimes you can have disputes with your teammates or with technical teams. You don't need to stop. You need to keep going. Mentally, that what I said. You need to be mentally fit, physically fit. You just need to be fit at all times. It is not going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to be affected by injuries. Sometimes so a lot of things are going to distract you. A lot of things are going to make you to not play so well. Sometimes it is going to be raining goals. Sometimes it is not going to favor you, but you just need to keep going so that you can make it to pro football. You know, Discipline. Sometimes you just need to follow instruction, being punctually and showing respect on and off the field. Show respect all the time. Respect your opponents. Respect technical teams. Respect your teammates. Respect everyone. You're going to make it because one thing I've realized, these new generation players, they think they knows it all. They don't listen to anyone. They do their own moves. They dribble the way they love. They don't listen to coaches. They don't want to listen. They don't want to be told by legend. They don't want to listen on how to do this, how to do that. That's why a lot of people fail. In most cases we fail because we think we knows it all. We don't want to pay attention to some instructions. We don't want to pay attention just because I am a star. A lot of time, a lot of people, they do these moves, like just because they are stars. They don't want to listen to other people. They knows it all, means they knows it all. In football, you need to learn to understand, to listen. There is difference between listening and understanding. You need to understand instruction. You need to pay attention to what the instruction that you are being told. Resilience. Every athlete faces setbacks. The pros are the one who bounce back stronger. I thought about this. It is not going to be easy. It is going to be tough in most cases. But bouncing back, fighting back, trying harder to be the pro, it is one of the best. It is one of the best. After a short break, I'm coming back. I'm going to share a lot of information. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. With this remaining a few minutes, I want to share information that is so important. Now, I want to talk about teamwork and communication. Soccer is a team sport. No one wins alone. You can't make it alone. You just need to fight and make it. You can't not make it alone. You need a teamwork. Teamwork is very, very important in this sport. If you're going to make it alone, forget about becoming a better teammate. You can do it individually, but at the end of the day, we need to deliver all of us. Our mission is to help the team progress to the next stages, grab trophies, obtain titles, make it to bigger stages. That is the aim. I, I, soccer is just team sport, for real. Chugging on the field, supporting teammates, and playing unselfishly go a long way. It is so important. I to wrap it up, becoming a pro in soccer doesn't happen overnight. It takes fitness, skill, discipline, and mindset. Focus on growth and teamwork. Start with the basics, train with intention, and never stop learning from those around you, whether it's your coach, teammate, or even a rival on the field. That's it for today. It was a fantastic episode. That is important information. That's it for today's episode of During the Weekdays updates. Updates. It is going to be a great journey. I hope everyone is going to be interested. It is going to be a great journey. I hope a lot of people are going to gain a lot of information. That is how you can make it to pro football. I mean, to pro football as a player, as an amateur, you can make it. It is going to happen. I know it is going to happen if you trust yourself, pray hard, do it harder, train harder, smart. You can make it to pro football. It takes a resilience. It takes uh, a smart guy. A smart guy is that person who always never give up. I'm going to say without a doubt that if you don't give up on what you do, you are a smart guy. You are a smart lady. You're going to make it in top. You're going to achieve a lot of things. Next time we talk about coaches, I'm going to share a lot of information that are going to help our major coaches how to make it, to pro football, how to do this and that. It is going to be great. Stay tuned. I know it is going to be a fantastic. Always stay tuned. I'm going to upload a lot of episodes that are going to be really useful. Thanks for everyone who played this episode. I'm very grateful. Thanks a lot.